Well, hello all my fellow crocheters, it's Danielle with Smith Crafting and I am back with another video for you guys. This is actually a highly requested video. So apparently a lot of crocheters have trouble with making a magic ring, and I thought I'd make a tutorial on how to do the magic ring because honestly it's really easy and really simple. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. So first, let's review how to make a slip knot, and you'll see why in a second here. Pinch the tail yarn with your thumb and your index finger, and from the back of your index finger to the tip of your middle finger, cross over and then go back around under both of those fingers, and coming back to the top, make an X from the tip of your index finger to the back of your middle finger. So let's take a look at our middle finger. The piece of yarn at the front is going to be where you put your hook underneath, and the piece at the back is the one you're going to be grabbing. So go ahead, slip your hook underneath the first piece, grab the second piece and pull it through, and then go ahead and slip it off your fingers and pull it tight, and there is your slip knot. Now, of course, this video isn't about doing the slip knot really, because the slip knot is used to make chains. This is about doing the magic circle. So I'll show you guys in a second why I wanted to review doing the slip knot. So let's go ahead and do another slip knot, but don't finish it. Watch me here. I'm going to do the cross over my index and middle finger like normal. I'm going to go under the first piece of yarn with my hook and grab the one right behind it, and then I'm gonna slip it off both of my fingers, and I'm going to stop right there. Don't shut it, because that right there is going to be your magic ring. And make sure your tail yarn is off to the left because you're going to be working through it. So chain one to lock everything in place, and to start making single crochets, you're going to go under both the tail yarn and your magic ring. You're going to yarn over, pull it through, pull your loops up, yarn over again, and pull through both of the loops on your hook just like you would a normal single crochet. Now, most patterns that ask for a magic ring will tell you to put 6 single crochets into the magic ring, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do here. I'm just going to do 6 single crochets. I'm going to make sure every single crochet is over the tail yarn, and this is important because the tail yarn is what we're going to use to close the magic ring. So let me just finish my 6 single crochets here. So now that I'm finished doing all 6 of my single crochets, I'm going to grab my tail yarn and pull it tight until it closes the magic ring. And this is what your magic ring should look like. There should not be a hole in the center. So let's just go through it one more time, a little bit fast paced. So let's go ahead and start making a slip knot again. So make that X over both your index finger and your middle finger. Take your hook and grab the piece of yarn at the back, pull it underneath the one up front, pull everything off of both of your fingers, and don't close it because that right there is going to be your magic ring. Turn your ring so that your tail yarn is off to the left because you're going to be working over it. Pull the loop on your hook so that it's about the size of your hook. You don't want it to be too big, you don't want it to be too small. And once it's the perfect size, just do a chain 1 to lock everything in place, and then start doing single crochets into your magic ring. And I'll just put 6 single crochets into the magic ring again because I want to show you guys the 2 different ways that the magic ring is used. And these 2 different ways really depend on what you're working on, whether you're doing something like amigurumi or whether you're making something like a hat or a beanie. Alright, and here are my 6 single crochets. I'm going to grab the tail yarn and I'm going to pull it tight until the magic ring is closed. Now this first way I'm going to show you is how amigurumi is usually done. So this is where you'll be needing a stitch marker because this is a continuous circle. So wherever the next available stitches, which will be the beginning of your next round, you're going to be putting, whether it's a single crochet, amigurumi usually uses single crochets, But you'd be putting a single crochet or whatever stitch you'd be using right into the next available stitch. Now if you do something like a hat, a beanie or something like that, you would actually go into the next available stitch and put in a slip stitch. So this isn't exactly as continuous. You wouldn't really need a stitch marker for this one because you'd be chaining up and then starting your next round, and it would be kind of obvious where your round begins and where the other one ends. And of course, it really depends on what pattern you're doing. Right now, I'm doing double crochets. Some hats or beanies might call for that. It could be single crochets or half double crochets. It really doesn't matter. Whatever the pattern calls for, this is what you would do in your magic ring. Alright, so let's say you're really struggling with the magic ring, you just can't get it, or maybe you just really don't like it. That's okay because there is a substitute to the magic ring. All you have to do is make a slip knot, and yes, you will be finishing the slip knot this time, so you'd be, closing the circle. And then you're just going to make a chain of 3. Now that you have your 3 chains, take your hook and go back into the very first chain that you did, yarn over and pull through the very last loop on your hook as a slip stitch. And then you're going to have this little hole right here that you see in the middle. That is going to be your quote-unquote magic ring. And you can go ahead and just start working into it however many stitches that you need. I will say the only issue with this one is that you can't close it like the other method to doing the magic ring. So you can't take the tail yarn and try and shut that hole in the middle. That hole will always be there. In fact, I tried pulling the tail yarn just to show you guys, and it actually ended up making the hole bigger. Like you can see right here, the hole ends up expanding. Now I wouldn't say this is an incorrect way to do the magic ring. This does have purpose. Like let's say you're doing a doily. The doily would actually go well with this because of that hole in the middle, and you wouldn't have to worry about the doily like scrunching up or anything. If you did learn something in this video, please hit the like button, and for more tutorials in the future, hit the subscribe button as well. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.